Well, hello there, gang. Welcome to the 30. Glad that you are here to be with us on this new week. Well, coming on to the end of the week. This is episode 191. I want to thank you certainly for joining us on this day, joining us for this new episode. The episode is called 13 Years, Key Learnings and Takeaways. And this is probably one of the. I was supposed to do this a long time ago, folks, but I put it off and put it off. Recently my wife is doing a series on. Well, she did a master class on procrastination, and she got me on this one in terms of procrastinating in terms of whether or not I should do this. And the more I see it, the more Holy Spirit says you got to do it. Because if you don't know, the 30 is a production of the Jackman Group LLC. And the Jackman Group is a firm in terms of learning and development where we focus on leadership training. We help leaders, we help teams, we focus on training and coaching. So the goal of the organization is really to help others get from where they are to where they need to be and where they should be, from a leadership and from a team perspective. So that's what we're all about. And today's topic deals with the 13 years that we've been in operation, 13 plus years. And it's been a blessing. It's been some ups and some downs. And today I'm going to be talking about some of the things that I've learned in our journey, some of the key takeaways. And I'm going to talk about 4 specific things. I'm going to be talking about what I call the 2 P's, right? Prayer, people. I'll be talking about faith, and I'll be talking about perseverance. So those are some of the things that I've learned on my road, on the journey as founder and managing principal of the Jackman Group LLC. So let's get started. Make sure that if you're watching this, wherever you're watching this from, whether it's YouTube or from LinkedIn, make sure that you either repost or share this with someone. If you're watching us from YouTube, certainly we would love it if you subscribe to our channel, which is at the 30 with Patrick. So the 30 at the 30 with Patrick. If you're watching us from YouTube, I would appreciate it very much if you go ahead and subscribe to our channel. That will be helpful. So let's give you a little journey, because I think that's where I want to go from and talk about where we began. I don't know, many of you may know of our journey from starting off back in 2010, well, back in 2011, I would say, but we formed a company back in December of 2010, and we actually launched it officially January 18th, 2011. So some of you know of the story. A lot of you may not know of the story. So I want to start from there, and then probably next week we'll get another part of it, or in a couple of weeks we'll get another part of it in terms of where we are, what we've gone through, some of the things, as I said, that I've learned from both an entrepreneur as well as a leader. And my hope in doing this episode and subsequent episode, that this would be a blessing unto you, that will bless you not just personally but professionally. And if you're in business, that it will also bless you as a business owner, because we know that being in business, whether you're a small business owner or an entrepreneur, which is a difference, or if you are a leader, whether you've led for a long time or if you are a new and emerging leader, there's some things that come along with that, right? There's some trials and tribulations that we all go through. There's some challenging times that we all have to experience. So my hope is to kind of peel back the onion, peel back the layers, and give you some of the things that I've learned over the last 13 plus years. So if you have any comments or questions, make sure that you drop them in the chat. I'd love to hear from you as we move forward. So back in December, well, before that, we started off. This was birthed in me from a very long time, but after going through a series in terms of downsizing, I decided that it was time for me and to establish and go out on my own and establish and start the goal that I've always had. I've always had the goal to be self-employed. Always have the goal in terms of helping people. So that's the foundation of it. But when we talk about back in 2010, after much prayer, which is, and I'm going to put this up here, we're talking about key learnings and takeaways. The first one deals with prayer, people, faith, and perseverance. So I'm going to talk about the first one, the power of prayer. So after much prayer, I decided that it was time, right? It was time, as opposed to going back into the workforce in terms of exploring different jobs and opportunities out there. Coming from the learning and development field, training, coaching, executives, and teams, it was time for me to branch out on my own. So prayed on it, the power of prayer. And Lord said it was time. So that was me. If you are married, so I was newly married, right? Got married in July of 2010. So went to my wife and says, hey, here's what I want to do. And if you have a spouse, here's a key learning point. Here's a nugget for you. If you have a spouse and you're deciding to go out on your own, to start your own business, to do your own thing, put up your own shack, any decision that you make sure that you consult your spouse. Because as you go through, right, you're not just going through it on your own, but your whole household is going through it. As you weather the highs or the lows, they are going through it as well. So spoke to the wife and said, this is where I want to go. This is where the Lord is leading me to. And what do you think? So she said, hey, you've made lots of money for other companies. You've helped a lot of people. If you think it's time, let's go. So we started a business. We launched a business, and we birthed the business. We got everything done, all the paperwork, everything done in December of 2010. December of 2010, thinking about Christmas and New Year's Eve and the new year, so got to get it done. So late December, paperwork came back. We were ready, right? So that was then. Now come 2011. So now the rubber meets the road. So no income. So it's time to now put my own flag up, my own shack up, get this thing going. So my prayer was for divine connection. Lord, connect me with others that are doing similar things, or have gone through things that can help us. So the connection came. I was connected with a brand specialist who I knew. I was connected to her before. And then I was connected to a website person through a good friend of mine, Chris. And the website person's name was Patrick. So I knew that it was ordained there, right? So with Jennifer and Patrick, we decided now to go for it. Jennifer created the brand, created the logo, created everything that we need to get started. Patrick did the website, and come January 18th, we launched. So this is 13 plus years of the Jackman Group. And I wish that I can tell you that everything was great, better roses. Everything was successful from the get-go, and still now we didn't go through anything, but that would be false. That would be a fallacy, right? That would be not truthful of me. So, but when we started, it was the foundation was prayer. And throughout the 13 plus years, it is still prayer. So whatever we've gone through, the good, the bad, and the ugly, prayer has always been a key component of this business. Not just the business, but also of myself, right? Praying for not just the success of the business, but praying that it will bless others, praying that it will be a blessing not only to customers, but it would be a blessing also to our partners and our consultants. So put it out there. The first client I talked to, prospective client, good friend of mine that I trained in corporate, reached out, says, "Hey, we're starting this business. I'm starting a business and just reaching out to see if there's a need." Yes, there's a need, right? And I trained her in a sales program, and she says, "Yeah, if you can get this program, we'll be ready to rock and roll, and you have the business." Now, keep in mind now, it is an off-the-shelf program. It is a program that I don't own. It is a program that I was trained in and certified in, and I'm thinking, okay, here's a prospective client, first client, and she's looking for the program that we trained her in when I was in corporate America, and she's looking for that for her team. How do I get this? I'm telling you, the power of prayer. Reached out to the company that has the program, owned the program, and certify those that are to teach the program. Now, I pitched a proposal to them, and they had never done this for anyone else. So I pitched the program and says, if you allow me to do XYZ, here's what's in it for you. You don't have to train the program. You don't have to market the program. I'll do that. And I'm praying it through. I'm telling you, the power of prayer. I was the first person at that time to enter into a contract with them for that program where we as a company would market the program, train the program. Got the contract, boom. Called the client, prospective client, and says, "We're ready." And that was our first client. So that showed me then, right, from the beginning, the power. I knew the importance of power and of prayer. But that even reinforced it even more, not just in my personal life, but also in the business life, not just in my corporate life, but in the business life in terms of entrepreneurship. So that is the first takeaway, the first key point that I want to get to you and understand. And I don't know where you are. I don't know if you believe in prayer. I don't know that. But I'm telling you from my personal experience, not just personally, professionally, that prayer move things. When things seem down, when things seem up, when you're up and you're down, the power of prayer. So that's the first thing that I want to talk to you about is the importance and the power of prayer. Not just in your personal life, but your professional life and your business life. You get that down, you're on your way. So we believe, right, from an organizational standpoint, that the company was birthed and launched with prayer, and prayer continues to be the most important part of our company. The second thing that I've learned, I'm going to tell you about this and my key takeaway, and I knew this, but it's even more reinforced over the last 13 plus years, is the importance and the power of people. See, you can't do things on your own. If you think that you can be successful on your own, go for it. And I've had this conversation with people before. I think I said it before on one of the episodes of the 30. And I always ask the question, in your success, whatever degree of success, have you done it on your own? The only way that you can do things and be successful on your own is maybe you played a lottery or something. I don't know, right? But I'm telling you, you cannot be successful, especially in business, in any aspect of life, without engaging people. And I've learned that our foundation, one of our guiding principles that this company is built on, is 100% client focus. So people are important, not only to you as an organization, not only to you personally, but to you as an organization. So that's another thing that I've learned is the importance of treating people right. If you say that you're going to do something, do it. Don't shortcut anything with people. Be fair with people. There's no degree of money that can buy your integrity and your character and your credibility back. When those things are gone, they're gone. So the power and the importance of people, your clients, serve your clients and your customers hard. Give them all you've got. And again, today we're talking about my journey to 13 years as the founder and managing principal of the Jackman Group, and what are some of the key learnings and takeaways. And that's one of them. That's a second part of it, right? Is serve your clients hard. Give them everything that you've got. Find out where they are, where they want to be, right? What's their desired outcome? Find out what they hope to accomplish. And your job is to help them. Our job is to help them to get to where they want to go, to move from where they are to where they're desired to be. Folks, people are important. Without clients, without customers, if you're in business, you don't have a business. So you got to serve them well. You got to serve them hard. Be good to them. Be honest. Be credible. What I found is that the more I do for people, the more I extend the organization, the more we do, the name gets around. And referrals, right? Referrals is one of the lifebloods of any organization, any company, whether profit or non-for-profit. Having a good name is critical to any organization, whether you are for profit or non-for-profit. So people, customers are important. But not only your customers, when we talk about the power of people, your team is also important. Because if you don't have a team pulling in the right direction, your customers are going to suffer. So from the get-go, one of the things that we set out to do, and it's even more evident now as we uh, move into the next phase of the company, is that we've always set out to not only help our clients, but also help our consultants and partners. The more we can give, the more that we can give to people, put money in their pocketbooks or purses or wallets, food on the table. The more we can engage and work with others, collaborate with others, whether it's our consultants or partners, collaboration. Because again, I can't do it by myself. One of the key learnings that I've gotten over the last 13 years, and trust me, I've tried. I've tried to do it all on my own. And one of the things that I've learned is that if you're going to move your business forward, if you're going to scale your business, you need people. You need good quality people. You find them, you train them, you develop them, allow them to do what they need to do. Allow them to work in their expertise, in their giftings, in their callings, in their talents. And be good to them. Years ago, when we went through some challenging times, and I'm not saying this to brag or boast, but when we went through some challenging times, some downtimes, we still had consultants to pay because the business was still going. So my thing is take care of our consultants. Don't worry about myself, right? Don't worry about me. So I had to sacrifice. Sometimes I didn't take a paycheck. But as long as our consultants and partners were paid, that was the most important thing to me. So one of the things that I've learned, take care of those who take care of the business. Not just your clients and customers. If you have employees, make sure that your employees are taken care of. If you have consultants, make sure that they are taken care of. Your partners, your vendors, those that you collaborate with, make sure that they are taken care of. Because if you don't, there's no way that you can take care of the business that you have and truly be a growth and successful business. If you want to grow, if you want to remain a small business, and that's okay too, right? There's something called a solopreneur. If you want to be just simply a solopreneur and focus on what you want to do, then that's fine. But if you have a large dream, a huge goal, and you want to build your business, you want to scale it and get to where you want to get to, where God has desired you to get to, you got to take care of your people. Take care of your folks, right? So that's the second one. So first one was prayer. Second one was people. People are your customers, and then your employees are consultants, partners, vendors, those that you collaborate with. Be honest with them. If you don't have it now, if things are tough, be honest with them. Let them know. People just want to know why, right? They just want information to know how things are going. Then they can make a decision, whether to stay with you or help you along, but you need to let them know. The third thing that I want to talk with you about in terms of what I've learned and some key takeaways is the power of faith. You know, I talk to young entrepreneurs all the time. I talk to those that desire to go into business on their own, and they say, "Well, Patrick, what are some of the things that I should know?" And I tell them these things. I tell them the power of prayer. I tell them people, but I also tell them, I ask them the question, where's your level of faith? Where's your faith, right? Because as an entrepreneur or as a leader of people, you are going to be challenged. You're going to go through some things, whether you are leading in an organization, you're leading a company, you're leading a team, you're leading a department, you are going to be challenged. You're going to go through some ups and downs. None of us are removed from challenges. That's just life. We're going to go through it, right? We're going to go through some trials and tribulations. But where's the level of faith? When you're going down into the valley, and the valley experiences, where is your level of faith? Who are you going to call on? Some people call it, I call it faith. Some people may call it resilient, being resilient. And that's okay, because faith and resiliency can go hand in hand. But where is your level of faith? How resilient are you? How resilient are you? Are you going to cave in? Are you going to close up shop? And maybe that's the best thing for you. I don't know. Maybe God desires you to do something else. For us, that was not an option. Because I know without a shadow of a doubt that this is what the Lord had placed on my heart. And we've gone through some hard times, folks. We've gone through some very challenging times. And one day I'd like to share that with you, but we've gone through some challenging, some very hard, lean times. We lost in a 2-year span, we lost 2 large customers, right? So here's another key for your key takeaway that I've learned is don't put all of your eggs in one basket or 2 large baskets. Spread it out. Don't just focus on the elephants. Because sometimes the elephants may leave, right? And then what do you have? Been there, done that. So diversify in terms of your clients. Diversify size-wise, people, regions, diversify. But we learned the hard way. We learned the hard way. And it was tough. It was tough in our household. It was very tough, challenging. But I know without a shadow of doubt that this is where we were supposed to be. This was the journey that I was supposed to be on. Right? And I explore all different opportunities. Put resumes in because I said, man, nothing is coming in. I got to do something, especially the man of my household, right? The husband, the head of the household. I got to do something here. So put resumes in, nothing come back. I'm like, what is going on here? So that showed me through prayer, through faith, that God was saying, listen, hold the course. Which leads me to my next one, persevere. Persevere, right? Hold the course. Don't give up. Don't quit. So one thing that I've learned, folks, is don't give up. Don't quit. If God says this is it for you, this is where you should be, stay the course. Wherever it is, whether personal, professional, business, spiritual, wherever it is, if he says this is where you should be, stay the course. Don't give up. But during that time, it was probably one of the not the best time, but rewarding time. Because not only was I building the business back up, keeping the faith, right, reaching out, trying to find clients, but I also started to, in terms of part-time, do rideshare. And that was probably the best thing at that point. Because I'm telling you, at that time, God used me so much in terms of blessing and praying for people. Talk about people, praying for people, that I had no idea who they were, but being used to bless others. And I'm reminded of going to give, as I end, going to give you a couple of scriptures here. I'm reminded of uh, James chapter 1, verses 2 through 4, and Romans 5. You can look at Romans. That's one of my favorite scriptures, Romans 5, which talks about trials and tribulations. We're all going to go through trials and tribulations. But what do we do? What do we do? Not only that, but we also glory in tribulations, knowing that tribulations produces perseverance, and perseverance, character, and character, hope. Now, hope does not disappoint, because the love of God has been poured out in our hearts by the Holy Spirit who was given to us. So faith and perseverance, right? So as you go through in your journey, whether it's personal, professional, business, whatever it is, whatever you're called to do, remember these 4 things that I'm going to talk, that I just talked with you about: prayer, the power of prayer, the power of people, the power of faith, and the power of perseverance. So, folks, I hope this was helpful. This is something that I ran from for a very long time, but I knew that I couldn't procrastinate anymore. I knew that I had to do it. And my hope is that as a result of this episode, that it will bless you, that it's a blessing to you, not only personally, but professionally, business, spiritually. So as we move into a different direction, not only on the 30, because we're coming up on almost 4 years. In April, it'll be 4 years that we're doing hosting the 30, that I've been coming to you each week, each Thursday. April will be 4 years. So as we move forward and we start to shift and pivot, as we move forward with the Jackman Group, as we look to shift and pivot certain things, as we concentrate specifically on leadership development, helping leaders in all aspects, in all areas, whether it's profit or not for profit, whether you are in corporate, small business, education, government, ministry, wherever you are. The goal is to help and serve leaders, to take them from where they are to where they desire to be, through leadership training and coaching, executive coaching, and group coaching. That's our focus, in addition to building teams, helping your team to be more effective and more efficient and more productive. That's our focus, in addition to strategic planning. So that's our focus as we move forward. We believe and we know that that's where we're called to be. And as we move forward, I want you to join me. Join us. If you need to get a hold of me, if you need to speak to us, drop us a line, send us an email, info@jackmangroupllc.com. That's info@jackmangroupllc.com. We would love to earn your business on the Jackman Group side, whether it's leadership training, leadership development, leadership coaching, individual or group coaching, or helping you with your teams to become more effective. We would love the opportunity to speak with you and assist you and take you and your teams from where you are to where you desire to be. So whatever space you're in, get in contact with us. Drop me a line. If you want to give me a call, we can set some time up That number is 585-861-6828. I'll repeat that again. Office number is 585-861-6828. We would love to partner with you. We would love to work with you. And join our group coaching. We still have space for our group coaching program. Join that. Be part of it, right? We have space for, I think we have space for a couple more, but make sure that you join us. Be with us. We'll be launching that this month, actually. We'll be kicking that off this month. So make sure that you are, we would love to have you. So that's our Leaders Group Coaching Program. So until next week, folks, I hope this was helpful. I hope that it was a blessing to you. Go forth and make things happen. God bless you and your family. We'll see you next week on the 30.